Jai Hind students. Today we have started our new chapter, which is fractions and decimals. And I know that you all have the idea about this term fraction, but let's discuss about that first. If there is an article, or you can say something, an object, and if you have done parts of that object, 4 equal parts you can see there, and if you pick one of them, then you write it, you selected 1 from 4, and now this has become a fraction. Fraction means total parts, what part you are going to select from total, that is fraction. There are 3 types of fraction: proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed fraction. So first we will discuss about the proper fraction. Fractions in which numerator is ever smaller than the denominator, these fractions are called proper fractions. As 1 upon 4, you can see this is denominator and 1 is numerator, and here 1 is smaller than 4, so yes, it is proper fraction. 2 upon 5, again a proper fraction. And if we discuss about the improper fraction, when in a fraction numerator is greater than the denominator, it means it is an improper fraction. As you can write 4 upon 3, you can see you have to select actually 4 parts from 3, so that it is improper, and it is improper fraction. 7 upon 6, again improper fraction. And here we have mixed fraction. What is that? Mixed fraction means when you write these improper fractions in a special arrangement, like if you write 4 whole 1 upon 3, you have seen that 5 whole 2 upon 9. These type of the fractions are mixed fractions. And actually what is this? If we make it improper fraction, if we simplify this mixed fraction, we will get 4 3s are 12, and 12 plus 1 is 13 upon 3. This improper fraction can be written in the form of the mixed fraction. Here it is 9 5s are 45, and 45 plus 2, that is 47, 47 upon 9. So there are basically 3 types of the fractions. First is proper, second is improper, and third one is mixed fraction. Now we have equivalent fraction. What is this equivalent fraction? Let's understand this by an example. We have 1 upon 2, 10 upon 20, 20 upon 40. Now try to get the simplified form of the fractions. This is 1 upon 2, because this is the least form of this fraction, and this 10 upon 2 can be written as 10 is divided both the terms. Now it is 1 upon 2, and here 20 upon 40 also becomes 1 upon 2, because 41 is 40, 42 is 21 is 20, 40, 22 is 40. So you can write 1 upon 2. So you can see that eventually these all fractions have the equal value, so therefore these are called equivalent fraction. So if you have the question that there is a fraction 4 upon 5, find equivalent fractions. So simply you have to do one thing, just multiply by a number in numerator and denominator. So if you multiply this by 2, you will get 8 upon 10. If you multiply this fraction by 3, numerator and denominator both the terms, if you multiply, then you will get 12 upon 15, and so on. So you can obtain many equivalent fractions of any fraction. Now we will discuss our exercise 2.1. We have 2 questions, and this is our classwork. First part is 2 minus 3 upon 5. And do you know how to solve this? You have to subtract this 3 upon 5 from 2. 2 can be written as 2 upon 1. Is there any problem? If you divide this 2 by 1, you will get 2 again. So this is 2 upon 1. And get the LCM of 1 and 5. And if you find the LCM of 1 and 5, what you will get? Divide by 5. This is 1, and this is again 1. So 5 is the LCM of 1 and 5. So simply write here 5, and now we just divide this LCM by the denominator of first fraction. So when you divide 5 by 1, your quotient is 5, and now multiply this numerator by that quotient. 5 2 ja 10, and this minus comes here. 5 1 ja 5, quotient is 1, multiply this numerator by 1, and that is 3. Now 10 minus 3 is, count, that is 7. 7 upon 5. Here we have another question. We have to add 3 upon 5 plus 7 upon 2 upon 7. So get the LCM of 5 and 7. 5 and 7 are co-prime numbers, and actually they are prime pairs. So 5 and 7 will give you the LCM 35, but let's check that for you. 1 and 7, if you divide by 7 you will get 1 and 1. Yes, 5 into 7 is your LCM. Yes, as you can see here, LCM is what? You have to multiply the prime factors 5 and 7, that is 35. So just write here 35 as the LCM of these two terms. Now divide this LCM by the denominator of the first fraction, that is 5. 5 7 ja 35, so 7 is the quotient, and multiply this numerator by 7. 7 3 ja 21, write it here, and plus 7 5 ja 35. Now 5 is the quotient, and multiply this 2 by 5, that is 5 2 ja 10. If you can't understand the process, I can explain this to you how it happened. When you divided this 35 by 5, you will get 7 as a quotient, and multiply this 3, the numerator of this fraction, by 7. So 3 into 7, and plus 7 5 ja 35, 5 2 ja 10. So 5 into 10 you can write there upon 35. Now you add, this is 21 multiply, and 5 2 ja 10 upon 3, and your result is 21 plus 10 31. 35 it is, 31 upon 35. And we have the fifth part of the question first. 7 upon 10 plus 2 upon 5 plus 3 upon 2. So we have to add these terms, get the LCM of 10 5 2, and do you know what is the result? That is 2, that is 10. So get this LCM in your copy and check the answer. That is 10. Now divide this term by 10. 10 1 ja 10, and now question is 1. 1 is multiplying in 7, and your result is 7 there. Plus 5 2 ja 10, 2 2 2 ja 4, plus 2 5 ja 10, 5 5 3 ja 15. And now when you add, 7 plus 4 becomes 11, 11 plus 15 becomes 26. So right here 26 and upon 10. What type of fraction is this? This is an improper fraction. We have another question, and you can see this time we have to subtract two fractions, and these fractions are in the form of mixed fraction. So let's make them in first improper fraction. So this is what? 8 whole 1 upon 2 minus 3 whole 5 upon 8. So 8 2 ja 16. 16 plus 1 17. So this can be written as 16. 8 2 ja 16, and this 1 is here, and upon 2 minus 8 3 ja 24 plus this 5 upon 8. Simply you have to multiply these two numbers, write the result, and add the number which is written as numerator of the fraction. Okay, and here 8 3 ja 24 plus 5. Now 16 plus 1 is 17 upon 2, and minus, here LCM is denominator is 8. 24 plus 5 becomes 24 plus 5 becomes what? 29. Now we have to solve this fraction to get our answer. See here, LCM of 2 and 8 get that is 8. Write here 8 as your LCM. Right, you can write here 8. Now 2 4 ja 8, Now 4 multiplies in 17 and your result is what? 68. Multiply 17 by 4 because when you divide this LCM by the denominator, 2 4s are 8 and 4 17, multiplication of 17 and 4 is 68 minus 8 1s are 8 and multiply 29 by 1, and what is the result? Subtract this, we will get 39 upon 8. And you can make it in proper fraction. How to make that? Divide this 39 by 8. 4 are 32. What is the result? This is 7. So you can write here, it is 4 whole 7 upon 8. Now you can see 8 4s are 32 and 32 plus 7 become 39. So this is your answer. Arrange the following in descending order. Do you know what is descending order? Descending means in order of decreasing. If numbers are arranged in decreasing order, then the numbers are called in descending order. And we have 3 fractions. So you should know one thing first. If you have 2 fractions, 1 upon 2, 2 upon 2, and one more 3 upon 2. If you have 3 fractions and if denominator of all the fractions are equal, you can see this is 2 2 and 2, denominator of all the fractions are equal, in that case the fraction which has the highest numerator, highest value of numerator, is the greatest fraction. And here you can see 3 upon 2 is the greatest fraction. So simply we will arrange them in descending order after making LCM, after making their denominator equal. And how to do this? First get the LCM of 9, 3 and 21. So write here 9, 3, 21. Check it. Divide by the prime numbers and the 3 can divide all. So this is 3, 1 and 7. If you divide by 7, 3 1s are 3, it is already 1, so write 1. And 7, because 3 can't divide 7, so again you divide by 7, this 1 and 1 and 1. Now multiply all these numbers. So 3 into 3 into 7, 3 3s are 9, 9 7s are 63. So 63 is the LCM 9, 3 and LCM of 9, 3 and 21. So first fraction can be written as, right here 63 and divide this 63 by 9. 9 7 is 63, we know that, and 7 is the quotient. Now multiply this numerator by that quotient. 7 2 is 14. Next is, again write here for this fraction. You know what? This 2 upon 9 and 14 upon 63 are the equivalent fraction. You can check it. How? Just divide both the numerator and denominator by 7. 7 2 is 14. You can write 2. And 7 9 is 63. You can write 9. So yes, these are the equivalent fractions. And write here 63 again for the second fraction. 3 and this is 21. When you divide this 63 by 3, you will get 21 as your quotient. Now multiply this quotient by this numerator. 21 2 is 42. Okay. Now when you again write 63, 21 3 is 63 and your quotient is 3 this time. Multiply this quotient in numerator of the third fraction, that is 8. So 8 3 is 24. Now you can check it which fraction is greater. Denominators are same this time, but numerators are different. And this is the fraction of greatest numerator. This is the second greatest and this is the smallest. So you can write, you have to arrange in descending order. So first you have to write the greatest fraction. And here 2 upon 3, because 42 upon 63 is the equivalent fraction of 2 upon 3, so you have to write first 2 upon 3 is the greatest. So write it here and make the symbol which is of greater than, and then you have to write 8 upon 21. We will write our initial fractions, not this, because this is here just to get the answers. And the last one is 2 upon 9. This is your descending order, your answer. Now in third question it is given a magic square. In a magic square, the sum of the numbers in each row, in each column and along the diagonals is the same. Is this a magic square? The simple meaning of this question is, we are given a square here. You can see that it is 4 upon 11, 3 upon 11, 8 upon 11 and so on. Numbers are written. There are 9 numbers. And in magic square, there is a property of magic square that when you add each row, these are called rows. Each rows, each columns, either you can write it like this, but I don't have the space here, so I'm writing like that. Each column and each diagonals means this horizontal, this vertical, and if you are looking for the slant line, so 1 2 3, this is the diagonal first and this is the diagonal second, and diagonals, I'm making this like this. Okay, so sum of all rows, all columns and all diagonals are equal. This is the basic property of square, especially this is the basic property of magic square, and I'm going to show it to you. So we have to check, is it a magic square or not. So let's check row first. It is R1, it is R2, it is R3. This is column first, column 2, column 3, diagonal first, diagonal second. And if we check all these terms and the value of all these terms is equal, then we can say yes, this is a magic square. So get R1. If R1 is the sum of all the numbers in first row, so that is 4 upon 11. You can see in R1 this is 4 upon 11, then 9 upon 11, then 2 upon 11. And here in this case we can see the denominator of all the fractions are equal, so you can directly write it 11. Okay, and in case when you have same denominator of many fractions, you can add numerators directly. So add 4 plus 9, that is what, 13, and 13 plus 2 is 15. So this is the value of R1. Now let's check this R2. R2 is equal to what? Add this 3 upon 11 plus is this 5 upon 11, this 7 upon 11, and this time it is again the LCM, because all the denominators and fractions equal. So 3 plus 5 is 8 and 8 7 becomes 15. Yes, and check it for R3. R3 is equal to what? 8 upon 11 plus 1 upon 11, you can see, plus 6 upon 11. Again LCM is 11 and 8 1 9, 9 6 15. So R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3. Sum of all the rows is equal. Now let's check it for columns. C1 is equal to what? 4 upon 11, this 3 upon 11 plus 8 upon 11, and LCM is 11. Add these numbers, 4 3 7, 7 and 8 becomes 15. Check the value for C2. C2 is equal to what? 9 upon 11, 5 upon 11, 1 upon 11. Again LCM is 11, 9 5 14, 14 1 15. Check C3, that is column number 3rd. Here it is 2 upon 11 plus 7 upon 11 plus 6 upon 11, and that is what 11 will be the LCM, and 2 plus 7 is 9, 9 6 again 15. So all the rows and all the columns give the same sum, that is 15 upon 11. Let's check the diagonals now. So this is the first diagonal and this is the second diagonal. Okay, so if this is the C1 and this is C2 here, so first checks it is diagonal, so we have to write here D1, otherwise we will be confused. D2, so diagonal D1 is what? 8 upon 11, 5 upon 11 plus this 2 upon 11. Check the answer. 8 5 13, 13 to 15. Yes, and we have last diagonal, that is what? This one, 4 upon 11 plus this 5 upon 11 plus this 6 upon 11, and answer is 4 5 9, 9 plus 6 becomes 15. So you can see all the rows and all the columns, all the rows, all the columns and both the diagonals give the same sum. So we can say yes, it is a magic square. Okay, we have our fifth question here. We have to find the perimeter of triangle ABC, which is here triangle ABE, which is here ABE, and the rectangle BCDE. We have to find the perimeter. And do you know what is the perimeter? Perimeter is the outer length of any body, of any diagram, you can say. So let's solve our question. First, for first part, find the perimeter. So perimeter of triangle, this is the symbol of triangle, so triangle ABE. So what is the formula? Sum of all the sides, so AB plus BE plus AE. This is the formula of the perimeter of triangle. You have to add all the sides, and value of AB is, you can see, 5 upon 2 centimeter. BE is 2 whole 3 upon 4 centimeter, and this is what? 3 whole 3 upon 5 centimeter. Now we will solve this question. This is what? 5 upon 2. So you can write is 5 upon 2. Here it is a mixed fraction, make it improper. So 4 2 ja 8. 8 plus 3 becomes 11. 11 upon 4. Plus 5 3 ja 15. And 15 plus 3 becomes 18. 18 upon 5. Now add these fractions. So you have to get LCM of 2, 4 and 5. So get it here. You have to do on your rough copy. 2, 4 and 5, and that is what? 2, 1, that is 2. When you divide this 4 by 2, you will get 2 as a quotient. You can write that quotient here. And 5 again by 2, so this is 1, this is 1, and this is 5, and right here 5. Now multiply all these prime numbers. 2 2 ja 4, 4 5 ja 20. So here LCM is what? 20. LCM is 20, and 2 10 ja 20, 10 5 ja 50, plus 4 5 ja 20, 5 11 ja 50, 5 4 ja 20, and 18 4 ja 72. Now add these numbers and you will get your answer. And add 5 to 7 and 5 5 10, 10 17, 177 upon 20 centimeter, because all these numbers were in centimeter. So 177 upon 20 centimeter, and this can be written as what? 20 8 ja 160, 8 whole 17 upon 20 centimeter. This is your answer here. And we have the second part. Find the perimeter of this rectangle. We have to find the perimeter of rectangle BCDE. Perimeter of rectangle. So how to find that? The formula is 2L plus B. Perimeter is equal to 2L plus B, and that will give you 2. And the length of, in this, you can see here in this rectangle, this is the length and this is the breadth. And length is what? 4 2 ja 8, 8 plus 3 11. So 11 upon 4. And you know what, in rectangle opposite sides are equal, so this is what, 11 upon 4, the same as it is centimeter. And here this will be 7 upon 6. So this is the length, this is the breadth. Put the values there. Length is 11 upon 4 and breadth is 7 upon 6. Now add these terms. 2 and 4, LCM of 4 and 6 is 12. 4 3 are 12, and multiply 11 and 3, you will get 33, and plus 6 2 are 12, and 2 7 are 14. Now add 7 and 4 upon 12 into 2, and you will get your result, that is what, 47 upon 6. And if you make it in improper fraction, or if you make it mixed fraction, 6 7 are 42. So 42 it is, and 5 upon 6. So 7 whole 5 upon 6 centimeter. It is said in question that whose perimeter is greater. So we have two parts in this question. Perimeter of triangle is equal to what? You can see that is 177 upon 20. So right here 177 upon 20. And this is the perimeter of triangle, and perimeter of rectangle is 47 upon 6. Now we have to compare these two fractions. So for that purpose we have to make the LCM equal, their denominator equal, and LCM of 20 and 6 is 60. So right here that is 60. For triangle the perimeter is 3 ja, so 3 7 ja 531 centimeter. This can be written in this form, and here it is 60 and 470 perimeter of the rectangle. And clearly you can see that perimeter of triangle is greater than the perimeter of rectangle. And in question we have to calculate whose perimeter is greater. So that is perimeter of triangle is greater than the perimeter of rectangle. So you can write perimeter of Now we have the last question. Our question number 7. Ritu ate 3 upon 5 part of an apple, and the remaining part was eaten by her brother Somu. How much part of the apple did Somu eat? This is Somu eat. And who had the largest share, by how much? So there is an apple, Okay, and it is said that Ritu ate 3/5 part of that apple. So remaining part of apple is 1 minus 3 upon 5. Why I write here 1? There is total part. The number of total part is 5. So that is what, when you select 5 out of 5, you will get the total part, and 5 upon 5 value is 1. So we can write here it is 1. So 1 minus 3 upon 5, and that is what? That is equal to 5 minus 3 upon 5, and it is 2 upon 5. This is the remaining part here. Now it is said that the remaining part his brother ate, and who is Somu. So how much part of the apple did Somu eat? So Somu ate 2 upon 5 part of apple, and who had the larger share? You can see Somu ate 2 upon 5 part and Ritu ate 3 upon 5 part. And in both the fractions you can see denominator is same but numerator is greater for Ritu. So you can write yes, Ritu ate. This is your first answer, and you can write yes, Ritu ate greater part, greater or larger share, larger part, and it is said by how much. So you have to subtract both the parts. This is the larger, this is the smaller, and the subtraction, after subtraction result is 1 upon 5. So Ritu ate large share, which is 1 upon 5 part extra than the Somu's part.